So let's have a little chat, shall we? Let's have a little occult chat. So Candy Barris, she does a commercial, and it's a KFC commercial with her son. And I'm not going to really go into all of the legalities and I ain't doing all that. All I'm going to say is this. If she was going to do a KFC commercial, why couldn't it have been a little bit more classy? Because she was acting as if I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Anyway, it could have been classier than that. Why not do a KFC commercial, where you are sitting down with your son, you all are eating some chicken normally, and you're giving him good advice on life, and you're preparing him for the next generation, having those types of conversations. But the way that this commercial came off, I'm going to be honest with you, it came off kind of coonish. And that is not the right image for black women. Now, a lot of people did not have a problem with the commercial. A lot of people thought it was cute. A lot of people thought it was adorable, and maybe it had the potential to be that. But the way Candy was acting in that commercial, she was acting like she was fiending for KFC chicken. Her eyes were all, in one what do they call it? In one I guess you call it what do they call that? Uh in one screenshot of the actual video, her eyes are bulging out of her head like she's just so desperate for KFC chicken. And see, that was not my issue, but that's what I saw. I saw it as being kind of coonish. Now, other people say, oh, Candy's the queen. She's making money. She's doing this. She's doing that. Well, you all may look at Candy like that, but I don't. And I used to really like Candy. But I think when you do anything for money, when you do anything for money, that kind of turns me off a little bit because she is a successful black woman. She is a talented black woman. She's a talented woman, period. So my question is, why are you relegated or why are you positioned to do these types of ghetto types of things? You know what I'm saying? A woman of her stature should not be participating in a KFC commercial like that. And I know people are going to say, you're being judgy. Well, I'm being judgy. Because what happens is people see that shit across the globe and they think that this is what a successful business black woman acts like. And that's not how real successful business black women act. And Candy should know there's something called your public image. And that was not a good look for her public image. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how much money that they paid her. It just did not look good. It looked coonish. But the majority of people, because they're followers, the majority of people, they didn't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with her doing a KFC commercial, eating chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. But it was the tone of it. Her son was feeding her chicken nuggets or whatever those were. He was feeding her as if she was an animal. You know what I'm saying? And her eyes bulging out of her head. And nobody sees anything wrong with that. Nobody sees anything wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with, like I said, nothing wrong with doing a KFC commercial. But it's the overall image that puts out. And then you involved your son in that. You involved your son in something like that. But most people, they don't see anything wrong with it. Well, Candy makes money. She's a successful woman. And that's right. She is. But what will you do for money? How far will you go for money? And see, this is why I say, even though Candy is a Taurus, She kind of operates in Leo. You feel what I'm saying? Even though she's a Taurus, she kind of operates in Leo. Because most Tauruses wouldn't have done no shit like that. Most Tauruses wouldn't have done nothing like that. And I'm just being honest. Now I know Candy got more money than me and she laughing all the way to the bank. I get that. No problem. All for her making her coin. All for her making her coin. That's not what this is about. This is about the overall image that's being put out in the world because she is a public figure. She is a powerful black woman. She is a black businesswoman. She's all of those things. So there's a certain way that you have to carry yourself as a black woman, and doing that type of commercial is not the way, honey. That is not the way. That's really not the way. And I found it coonish. I'm going to be honest. I found it coonish. I don't give a fuck who gets mad. I don't care who don't like it. I found that shit coonish. I found it coonish. And it's not because of her doing a KFC commercial for chicken. That has nothing to do with it. It's the fact of how she was acting in that commercial, the storyline in that commercial, the body language. Remember, I told you all yesterday, reading body language, how people act, it tells a story. And let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest. If Candy was making so much money, why does it seem, how can I put this? If she's making so much money, like so many of these vloggers think, if she is making so much money, then why does it seem like she's so desperate to make money? Does that make sense what I'm saying? If she, Candy, is making a lot of money, why does it seem like she is so desperate to make money? I get, making money, but it just doesn't seem like she's comfortable at her status. I know it's all about making more money and all that, but like I said, it should have been a KFC commercial. It could have been comedic, but it should have been more along the lines of her sitting down with her son, eating KFC, and maybe having an educational conversation with him about something, giving him wisdom. Where does he get wisdom in looking at something like that? Or participating in something like that? I just, that's just me. That's just me. And I may be the minority in that, but that's how I feel about that. Speaking of Candy, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the premiere of season 15 brought in record low ratings. They brought in record low ratings. The writing is on the wall. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think eventually, within the next couple of years, it will not be on the airwaves. I think that eventually it's going to get prematurely canceled because unfortunately, even though they added Marlo, there is no real chemistry among those ladies that are on the show. There's no real chemistry. So maybe that's why Candy has to do these commercials and, lower her standards because, again, that commercial, let me go back to that commercial. That commercial was beneath Candy. That was beneath her. I remember, and I'll get back to what I'm saying in a minute, but I go all over the place. You know that. I remember when I was looking at that show Feud between that what was it? Yeah, Feud, that Ryan Murphy show that depicted the feud between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And I remember in one scene, Betty Davis was talking about Katharine Hepburn. and she was telling someone, how is it that Katharine Hepburn, she's older like me, but she's getting all of these wonderful roles. She's acting in all these wonderful roles, and I can't get any roles. And the person that she was talking to said to her, well, Betty, because Katharine Hepburn says no sometimes. And Katharine Hepburn was a Taurus as well. That's what I'm talking about. She was a Taurus. And she said no. When Hollywood came knocking at her door with bullshit that she didn't want to do, or if she knew not to do it, she would say no. She did not say yes to everything that was presented to her. So that's what I'm saying when about Taurus is Candy is not operating in her Taurus. She's not operating in her Taurus. She's operating more in Leo and Scorpio. She's not operating in Taurus. But getting back to what I'm saying, so the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 premiered record low numbers, and it's because none of those women have chemistry with each other. They have no chemistry. Drew Zadora was not even on the season premiere. Her husband was. Then you have the manufactured beef between Sonia Richards and her sister. Sonia Richards is boring. She brings nothing to the show. She brings absolutely nothing to the show. I'm sorry. She doesn't. Drew Zadora, she's okay. But those ladies have no chemistry. They have no chemistry. There's no real there's no real friction between them that brings so-called drama. The things that, we all like to see on the various shows of the housewives. And to top it all off, most of them, let me see, Candy and Sonia, only two of them are even married. So we really, and that's Candy and Sonia. Drew is getting a divorce. So we really don't have the dynamic of seeing them with their husbands, seeing them raising their children, and the addition to Marlo to the show, it did not help fill the void that is there, which is Portia being gone and Nene being gone. And no matter what people may think about Portia, because I really didn't like Portia when she was on the show, but Portia is good for TV. Portia is good for TV. Now, if they really wanted to bring some real drama, what they would do is they would hire Tamar and put Tamar on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That would boost the ratings because Tamar has beef with Candy and Todd. That would definitely boost the ratings. Bravo. But they're not about boosting ratings. They're about promoting agendas. They're about promoting agendas to tear down the image of the black woman in America. That's what they're about. That is why they have Candy up in a KFC commercial acting like an animal. And that was so beneath her, if you ask me. That is why I did not like that commercial, because I think it's beneath Candy to participate in something like that. But then again, they have her working and operating in her Leo and not in her Taurus. I don't know. I just think that the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise, I just don't think that, I don't think it's going to last much longer. They have to make some drastic changes because the current cast is not. Let me tell you what they need to do. They need to get rid of Sonia Richards. They need to get rid of Drew Zadora. Maybe make them friends. Everybody should not be a full time housewife. Then they have that girl Moneta. At first, I liked Moneta. At first, I liked her. And at first, I thought maybe she could be a good addition as a full time housewife, but I changed my mind. Moneta plays on Tubi movies. She's in Tubi movies. I don't think she would be appropriate for that franchise. What they need to do is stop focusing so much on friends of the franchise. See, that is where they made their mistake. They focus more on the friends of the franchises. They keep flooding these unknown, unnecessary, nobodies. They keep trying to force these people on us. They're doing it with Moneta. They did it with that other girl that was friends with I think she was friends with Portia. I can't think of her name. She's a dark-skinned pretty woman. I can't think of her name. They did it with her. You know, they did it with so many. They did it with that weird woman that kept harassing Drew last season. Did she do some work to break up their marriage? I don't know. I wonder. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That weird lady who kept harassing Drew last season. I forgot her name. They did it with her. I think she was friends with Sheree as well. They did it with her. The only worthy friend on that show that I saw getting a peach was Marlo. And that kind of rhymes. It was Marlo. Because Marlo brought it. But now, you know, I guess because Marlo has changed and she has her nephews, so maybe, you know, maybe she had to change. Maybe she had to evolve, you know, from where she was emotionally to where she is now. But Marlo has a whole juicy storyline. She has conflict with her sister. She took in her nephews. She put them out. She brought them back again, you know. So she has a good storyline. And then, you know, Marlo is really an enigma. And when I say an enigma, that's almost the same thing as being a mystery. There's so many things about Marlo that we really don't know, you know, and that's what makes her good, you know, for the show as a full-time housewife as well. Because imagine all of the things we can find out about her. I did not even know that her mother was still alive. Look at all of the things we found out about her. I did not know that she was in the foster care system. You know, Marlo has a lot of stuff in her closet, not just beautiful clothes, but she has a lot of stuff in her closet, not hiding anything, but she has a lot of storyline, a lot of juicy storyline and backstory in her closet that has yet to be told. So she's good. I like Marlo. I like her. You know, I like her and I like how she has evolved. Kenya, I'm not liking Kenya too much anymore. Kenya is getting kind of stale. And it's one thing to be shady, to read and have beef and all that. That's one thing. But when you start becoming mean-spirited, when you start becoming hateful and nasty, and see, that is what happened. That's what happened to Nene. That was really the cause of Nene's demise on the show as well. Nene had a part in her own demise on this show. You feel me? She had a part in that. Because Nene started becoming very, very nasty and very, very mean-spirited. Even though we love Nene sometimes. But she kind of put the nail in her own coffin when it came to her performance on the show. she started becoming really mean and bullyish and being a bully, you know? And she wasn't operating in her Sagittarius, she was operating in her Pisces. And Pisces can be bullies. Pisces can be bullies. And they're very passive aggressive. That's why I don't fuck with them like that. But Kenya, I've noticed that she is becoming, she's taking on that same energy because she thought that once Nene left, that she would become the new queen of the show. But I hate to break it to you, Kenya, you're not the queen of the show. The queen of the show is Candy. Candy is the grand poobah of the show. She's been there the longest. Candy is the grand poobah. She's the grand, the grand supreme. Okay, that's Candy, not you. And see, Candy, she has money. She has money. She has talent. And if she does leave the show, Candy will be back. She'll be okay. She'll be okay. Kenya does not really have a storyline. When you really look at it, Kenya does not have a storyline. She divorced that husband of hers who wasn't no motherfucking good, even though he was fine as a motherfucker, but he wasn't no good. She divorced him. I mean, did I say Candy or Kenya? Kenya. That's who I meant. If I said Candy, I meant Kenya. Kenya divorced her husband, or at least they're still in litigation. She doesn't have much of a storyline anymore. She has no relatives around her. She doesn't talk to her Aunt Lori anymore. I wonder, did they fall out? I don't know. Remember, her Aunt Lori used to be on the show all the time. She used to have a cousin that would come around every now and then. She doesn't come around anymore. I mean, it's only about her and her daughter, Brooke or Brooklyn or whatever her name is. I mean, it's really not that great. Her storyline is really not that great. There's nothing really interesting about her. I mean, what is she doing? What are her projects? Besides being shady and being mean all the time. I mean, that kind of gets boring. I mean, I want to see new dimensions to Kenya. I want to see Kenya get into a full relationship with a man. I think she's dating a white boy now. Good. That's probably, you know what? Some black women, white boys are better for some black women. And Kenya, I think Kenya would do better with a white boy. And I think she should have realized this a long time ago. For some black women, white boys are a better match for them and their temperament. You understand what I'm saying? White boys are better for some black women. And I believe Kenya is one of those black women that she would do better with a white boy, or even maybe a more modernized Arab or Middle Eastern or Persian guy. She would do better off with one of them versus a black guy. Because black men got too much motherfucking shit with them. They got too much motherfucking shit with them. And Kenya is a beautiful woman. And she really does deserve love. She does deserve for a man to take care of her and not try to take her through all of these fucking changes that this ex-husband, Mark, has been taking her through. That bum-ass motherfucking nigga, he trying to get money out of her. You know what would be a real, child? You know what would be a real good storyline? Kim Zolciak and her husband, Croy, they done divorced. And child, if Croy ever come across my path, Kim, you'll never see him again, child. And that's all I'm going to say, because I think that's one sexy white guy. Okay? I think he's sexy. But anyway, what would be a real kicker if Croy ended up with Kenya or one of those black women on those other single black women on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because I'm going to tell you something. I saw how Croy was looking at Portia. He wanted some of that. He wanted some of that. He wanted some of that. You know what they need to do? Maybe, I can't say that. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. No, I don't do it. They need to bring Kim Zolciak back to the show full time. But that's another story. I know a lot of people don't want that, but that's another story. That would be a lot of drama. That would be a lot of drama if they brought her back. You know, there would be a lot of drama. Sheree, I really like Sheree. I really like Sheree. But again, Sheree, same thing with Kenya. Sheree does not have a storyline. She doesn't have a real storyline. For many years, Sheree and Candy were very, very good friends. And now they're manufacturing this false storyline of Sheree and Candy beefing with each other. And I don't like that. Sheree and Candy should not have no beef with each other. How is it that Sheree, this is what I don't understand about Sheree. What I don't understand about Sheree is this. You're more mad at Candy than you are Marlo. How is it that you and Marlo, and even though they say that Sheree is a Capricorn, she acts more like a Taurus to me. Sheree acts more like a Taurus, even though they say she's a Capricorn. But she acts like a Taurus, or she's in her Taurus. She's in her Taurus. How are you more upset with Candy and say that she is shady when you had Marlo, who wasn't even a full-time housewife at the time, when you all went on that trip to South Africa, Marlo dragged you and she dragged your children in a sense. And you're best friends with Marlo, but you can't look past the little shady stuff between you and Candy. But you're best friends with Marlo. And I love me some Marlo, but Marlo was wrong on their trip to South Africa in a sense. I understood that, now this was 10 years ago, but I understood why Marlo was upset. I get that, but the way she went about it was absolutely brutal and it was nasty. And I did not like Marlo back then. Marlo had to grow on me. But the point is that how is it that you're okay with Marlo, but now you want to manufacture all of this beef with Candy? It just doesn't make sense to me. I have another question. We the people, we got questions. Why would a woman? Here we go again. Here we go again. Sheree has potential to be great. I don't know what's going on with She by Sheree. A lot of people are saying that the website is still not working. I don't know because I can't fit nothing on there, child. I ain't no woman. So I can't fit nothing on there. So I don't, and then if I put on something tight, it's gonna get me too much attention in my booty, child. So how is it that a woman of her stature, how is it you were married to Bob Whitfield? You were married to a famous football player, and a woman of your stature, of her stature, why are you messing with the bottom of the barrel, someone like Martell Holt? He's the bottom of the barrel. Here we go again. I'm going to call it the Candy effect. I'm going to call it the Candy effect. You're messing with the bottom of the barrel to get a storyline. And see, that's another thing. I don't like how they are intertwining the universes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and that, where did he come from? That Love and Marriage, what is it, Huntsville or wherever the fuck he came from. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Huntsville. Maybe it was. I don't know. But why is he included in the Real Housewives of Atlanta? He brings absolutely nothing to the show. Sheree is another woman who I would love to see her find love. I would love to see her find a good, decent man. No Martells, and no Tyrones. She does not need to date nobody by the name of Tyrone or Martell. Leave those motherfucking jailbird, worthless ass motherfucking niggas alone. I'm not talking about Martell being a jailbird, but he's in that pool. He may not be it, but he's in that same family. Like you could be a rodent, but you don't have to be a rat or a mouse. You could be a damn possum or in the rodent family. Well, he's in the rodent family. Him and that damn Tyrone she was dating. You don't do that. When you are a woman of a certain stature, you don't get with those dusty ass niggas that are beneath you. And I don't give a fuck who gets mad about what I'm saying. And that even applies to your average women. That even applies to your average women. You don't date down, you date up. Fuck. You don't date down, you date up. And Sheree, you're dating down. I don't mean no harm. The same thing with Candy. She dated down. She dated down. She downgraded. That's why Mama Joyce and everybody be giving her the side eye about Todd. Because she dated down. I think it's okay for anyone with respect to themselves and respect to the person, because I'm going to tell you something. If this gentleman here with me didn't have no car and didn't have no motherfucking job, you think he'd be staying with me? Now, I'm not trying to tell all my business, but you think he'd be staying with me? Hell motherfucking no. Hell motherfucking no. And let's just say he keeps my hands with money in them. No matter what differences we may have had in the past, money is always in my hand coming from his motherfucking pocket. Not the other way around. When I was talking to you all about that motherfucking thing yesterday, that thing who got mad at me, that thing, I'm going to call her that thing. My men look better than hers. My men that I've had have always had more than hers. So why would I be worried about a bitch who can't even pay the taxes on her house? The balance officially is $73.20. Why would I be worried about somebody who dates down? She had to go back to a drunk and a crackhead that she used to date back in the motherfucking 80s. Why would I be worried about a bitch like that? I just wanted to throw that out there to be messy. But my point is this. Why would Candy and Sheree date down? Get back to Sheree. Why would you date down? Can you really afford that chateau? Can you really afford Chateau Sheree? Is Chateau Sheree really yours? And I'm not asking that to be shady. Honestly, I'm not. I'm asking that because, well, maybe a little bit. But I'm asking that because I don't want to see her get thrown out on the street when Bravo decides they don't want to use her in whatever ritual they're using her in, because Sheree is a ritualized member of the Bravo family. They use her for certain rituals and then they get rid of her when they have no use for her anymore. They'll bring her back, then they'll get rid of her. And truth be told, Candy should not be the grand poobah of the show. It should really be Sheree. If we're really being honest, it should really be Sheree who should be the grand poobah of the show, because she's an original cast member. Even though she left 3-4 times and came back. But Sheree just does not have a storyline. And the storyline, what was the storyline they had for her? That storyline with her and Bob Whitfield and, you know, the victimization. That's not, it's very hard for me to watch Black women being victimized, or any woman being victimized on television, and hearing about them being beaten on and stuff like that, that's hard for me to listen to. I don't really want to listen to that because it's just hard to listen to. You know what I mean? It's hard to listen to women being victimized and all of that. And, I don't look at reality TV for that. I look at it for the drama and the messiness, but it's getting too serious. It's when it starts getting too serious, but I mean, that is reality TV. So, hey, I guess it's fair game. But I really don't like it when they start going down that trajectory of abuse and all of that. That kind of triggers me because I don't like seeing stuff like that. But Sheree does not have a storyline either. Her kids are not really around her. She doesn't really have a steady boyfriend. I mean, Martell Holt, I think the only thing he is a fuck partner. And that's okay. But Sheree, at her stage in life, I think she deserves something better than that. Same thing with Kenya. She deserves something better than that. Hey, Sheree should get her a white boy too. I think she would do good with a white man too. Maybe an Italian white guy with a lot of money who's a little bit older for Sheree. Kenya could do a younger white guy with a lot of money, of course. And when I say younger for Kenya, I mean maybe 39, 40-ish, early 40s. Sheree, I would say she should get a man maybe 5, 10 years older than her with money. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that it's looking, it looks like Martell is trying to suck her dry and get his fame, and then he want to throw her to the side. That's what it looks like. He's trying to get a bigger name off of hers. And black women got to be careful about that, letting these motherfucking what do they call them? What did I say earlier? These rodents. You gotta be careful of these rodent motherfuckers because they eat anything. They eat shit. They drink piss. They eat garbage, and then they want to come lay up next to you so they can suck you dry. They want to suck you dry, and that's what's happening with Sheree and Martell. He is using her because she's the bigger name. She's been in the game longer. Remember I told you all everything is about body language. When Martell came to Sheree's house last week, she wrapped her arms around him to hug him. And I know that body language. He did not want to hug her back. He didn't hug her back. He stepped back. He put his neck in, but he didn't put his torso and body in. And I never saw him wrap his arms around her. How is he your friend? Now, I'm not a hugger either. But at the end of the day, if it's someone that I'm dating or supposed to love and have an intimate relationship with, that's different. But I'm just not a hugger, running around hugging. I'm not an affectionate person with everybody. I'm not like that. So I get it. I get that. But he did not even hug her back. See, I pay attention to details that way. Maybe that's the Virgo in me. But I pay attention to details. I'm like, he didn't hug her back. He barely touched her. And you want us to believe that he's not only your friend, but there's a covert energy that he's your lover? He looks like his breath stink, if you ask me. I wouldn't want him nowhere near me. He's not my type. I don't care what type of body he has. I'm just not into black men that look like him. I'm just not. All them muscles and stuff. I like average looking black dudes. That's just me. Them dudes with their muscles and tattoos and, a lot of them, number one, a lot of them, they dicks don't work no more. Then number two, a lot of them got fucked up personalities, fucked up attitudes, mental problems. Give me an average looking dude and I'm good. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me see what else is going on. That's my take on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Those women have no chemistry. They have no connection. It's all about promoting agendas, covert agendas. That's what it's all about promoting. That's what I see anyway. I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Jamie Foxx's daughter says that he's been out of the hospital for weeks. Mm. He's been out of the hospital for weeks, but it's being reported like he's still in the hospital. But she wants us to believe that he's been out of the hospital for weeks. Okay. What type of game they playing in that motherfucking shit? What type of game is that? He's been out of the hospital for weeks. For weeks, right? According to his daughter. And I guess we should believe her, right? He's been out of the hospital for weeks. But the reports are saying that he's currently still in the hospital. When there's confusion, there's collusion. When there's collusion, there's an illusion. When there's an illusion, there's a motherfucking lie somewhere. There's a motherfucking lie somewhere. I'm not a Jamie Foxx fan, so I'm not invested in any of that, but it just seems suspicious. What type of ritual are they doing with that shit? Just makes you wonder, what type of ritual is that? And what's really going on? You know, I was listening to one of my let's just say spiritual co-workers. We'll put it in that term. And they were saying that there are underground cities being built that will have grocery stores, schools, and hospitals. Underground cities. And I'm assuming only the people who are of a certain echelon will be allowed to go into these underground cities, right? But you know what I find interesting? I'm not contradicting what they're saying, of course, but I've always heard about these underground cities. And a lot of the people that we think are dead are really in these underground cities. They're really alive in these underground cities. Because I heard that Tupac was one of the people that was in one of these underground cities, allegedly. This may not be true. So don't say, oh, that's not true. I said allegedly. But I've been hearing about these underground cities for a long time where elite people live who we think are dead. But you know, here's another thing. It's interesting that they're talking about building underground cities for, I'm assuming, elite types of people. Does that mean that all of their efforts to try to recreate life, which they could never do, does that mean all of their attempts to recreate life on other planets and the moon have really failed? Because they cannot recreate something that was made by God or the universe unless they use terraforming, which I've talked about that before, which is like the pet cemetery effect, where you bring something back to life, but it's not of the original essence. It's not of the original spirit or soul. It's something artificial, like in Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery was a form of terraforming. You buried someone in Pet Cemetery, and what came back was not that actual person. It was something dark and sinister. So did they finally figure out that they could not recreate life out into the universe on these on these planets that had life on them at one time? Like Elon Musk and all these other motherfuckers who think they can do everything, but they can't really do shit. They're billions of dollars. They're not God. I'm just having a conversation. Just asking questions. We the people, we got questions. You know, the several people that do up my videos, that do give me the thumbs up, those are the people that I think we have like minds. So those people, we have questions. We want to know what's really going on. So are you building underground cities now? Let's just say for, the sake of argument, that they're building underground cities and they did not already exist. So you're building underground cities for people to live. Is that because you've realized that you cannot recreate planets? You cannot terraform planets and create them and recreate them, and restore them to their natural environment? Is that what you're telling me? Now you figured it out, because you notice you don't hear nothing about Elon Musk, or, and as a matter of fact, I don't hear nothing about him at all or here lately. You notice you don't hear anything more about Elon Musk trying to go to the moon, go to Mars. You don't hear none of that shit no more. It's like they've stopped trying to do that now. Or did something stop them from trying to do it? Just food for thought. Just food for thought. I don't think they should be going up there messing with shit, period. Especially with the minds that they have. Money does not mean an expansion of consciousness. I have another question. It's just some more occult investigative work. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Katy Perry and something that has to do with McDonald's that may be connected to, let's just say, harming children. Okay, allegedly. Some McDonald's, is it a commercial or some type of McDonald's? Something that has to do with children. And Katy Perry is involved in it, allegedly. Let me just say that. Has anyone ever thought or given any more credence to the theory? And this is something that was put out years ago, that Katy Perry may in fact be the supposed dead JonBenet Ramsey. People have been saying that for years. People have been saying that Katy Perry is in fact the supposedly dead JonBenet Ramsey. And wasn't JonBenet Ramsey caught up in some type of child, I don't want to say trafficking, but it does look like they were trafficking or attempting to traffic that little girl because of the type of pageants that she was in. She died back in the 90s, was murdered back in the 90s, allegedly. Did she go underground to one of those underground cities and then come back as Katy Perry? Because if you really look at the pictures of Katy Perry and JonBenet Ramsey, maybe, could be, maybe. When you look closely, so could that whole story have been on cap or bullshit with JonBenet Ramsey? I'm just asking questions. Not saying that it really is. I'm just asking. Because there's a lot of talk about Katy Perry being connected to this child stuff. And then when we look at John Benet Ramsey, she was possibly trafficked as well. And then she was murdered. And they still have not found out who murdered her. I think they say someone confessed, but it's a question. And like I told you, collusion, illusion, there's a lie. Collusion, illusion equals a lie. There's something not right. Then her mother dies. Patsy Ramsey, she dies of cancer. I found her death to be very suspicious. She dies. I'm just looking at it from a spiritual connection. I'm just thinking. Was John Benet trafficked? Then it takes me back a little further to Heather O'Rourke. Am I saying that correctly? Heather O'Rourke or Heather O'Rourke. The girl that played in Poltergeist, she played Carol Ann. She died very young. She kind of reminded me of John Benet Ramsey a little bit. She died very young. She kind of puts me in the mind of a Katy Perry as well. The energy. She does. They claim that she died of some type of disease that she had. I don't remember. I don't know if it was lupus. I don't know. But whatever disease she had, she was vomiting her own feces, meaning vomiting poo-poo or poop. She was vomiting poop, her own poop. I find that to be very, very demonic. She did play in Poltergeist, all of them. And we don't know what type of rituals went along with her playing in that movie. Because a lot of the people that played in that movie, several, I'm not going to say a lot, but several of the people that played in that movie, including that Indian guy, that big tall Indian guy, and the guy that played that creepy old guy in part 1 and 2, Dominique Dunn and Heather O'Rourke, they died very prematurely. Dominique Dunn's boyfriend strangled her in 1982, I believe, or 1983 or 84. He strangled her or did something. She was murdered. So what's really going on here? So going back to Katy Perry, it did not surprise me, the symbolism that people were breaking down of her being involved in this creepy McDonald's skit with kids and stuff like that. It really did not, it didn't surprise me because it took me back to John Benet Ramsey and how people have been saying for the longest time, you don't see those videos anymore because they've removed them. But it takes me back to that where they were saying that Katy Perry is actually the supposedly dead John Benet Ramsey. Or could she be John Benet Ramsey's clone? Is that what they mean? I don't know. Just food for thought. Anyway, this is the Occult View. I just wanted to come through and have an occult session with you, and I approve this message. Thank you.